Hey guys, Chad from Six Blog. Today I just want to do a video. It's been quite a while since I've made any kind of post or anything on my blog. I believe it was actually the 1st of August, the last time that I posted on my blog. And that was a trip report for a trip that we did in July. I've really slowed down on my blog a lot over the past few months just because daily personal life has just gotten so much busier. With lots of things, with school with the kids, activities with the kids, work, and then just me personally. Over the past few months, I've been working on trying to clean up my physical body. I've not really just been completely overweight and just super bad, but I have been quite overweight for the last few years, so I've decided that I'm going to have to do something about this. So I've been spending more time not only just cleaning up my appetite, what I eat, not my appetite, but my body, changing what I eat and stuff. I've also been spending more time just being active when I'm not at work, because that was a big problem for me. I take a lot of call. I'm on call every other week for my job, so I really have, there's not really a whole lot that I can do when I'm not at work. I have to kind of be around just in case they call me in. So what I found myself doing over the last few years is after I would get off of work, I would kind of come home and I would just kind of be nothing. I would just kind of sit around, watch TV, write on my blog, watch videos, whatever. And then on rare occasions I would get to go hike. So I've kind of been changing that up a little bit. I've been going to the gym, I've been going to the park, just trying to be more active. And overall it's paid off. In the past 4.5 months, I've lost almost 45 pounds. And to be honest, I feel better. It's nice looking at myself and knowing that I'm not quite overweight like I was. I'm still going to the gym, not really goal-wise trying to lose weight anymore. Now I'm trying to just be a little more fit, kind of gain a little bit of muscle maybe, not be some big bodybuilder or anything like that, but just trying to get in a better overall condition. And that's going to help me with things as far as, my life in general. But then, of course, when I'm backpacking and stuff like that, I'm a big advocate of ultralight backpacking. And I don't care what your weight is. I think that honing in your gear and really just cutting out all the things that you don't need and trying to carry the lightest of the things that you do need, that still works for what it needs to do and for that what you understand. I'm a big advocate for that. However, losing weight off your body, that's another huge thing in my opinion, to really help you drop weight and just have a better overall hike. So that's what I'm going for. Also, due to this, and I mentioned this in one of my past videos on the Go Ruck, some friends of mine have asked me a couple of times to do a Go Ruck, and I've always said no, simply because I didn't feel like I was in shape to even think about competing or challenging in one of those things. Now that I am in a little better shape, I feel like this would be a good thing to continue to push me. So I'm participating in a Go Ruck challenge in December. That is right opposite of ultralight backpacking, but that's okay because not everything has to be ultralight backpacking for me. This is going to be more of a mental and a physical type of challenge. I'm really looking forward to it. I know it's going to kick my butt, it's going to hand my butt to me, but I'm looking forward to it because it's going to continue to push me physically and mentally as well. So I'm looking forward to that growth. And for anybody that's not familiar with the Go Ruck Challenge, Brian Green's done a write-up on stuff that he used and kind of mentioned some few things about his challenge. And then, like I said, it's a great thing to do. And if you think you might be interested in it, I highly suggest you go over to goruck.com and check out their challenges, see what they're all about, and maybe enroll in some. Other than that, as far as my videos and all that stuff goes, it's going to continue to be kind of slow on my blog especially. I'll still every once in a while do videos and post them, but chances are I'm probably not going to have time to sit down and do a big write-up to go on my blog. I am going to try and do some write-up for this one, but it might not be as long as typical write-ups are for me. We'll see. Other than that, though, I'm probably not going to be buying a whole lot of new backpacking gear or anything like that. So gear reviews and stuff is probably going to pretty much cease for a long while on my blog. And I assume, or I would say at this point, any other gear videos coming forth is probably going to be more long-term type reviews. Meaning I'm not going to be buying a lot of stuff, so I'm going to be trying to use the stuff that I have already, because I've got everything now. I've bought stuff, a lot of stuff in the past, as some of you may know, and I've kind of pared down what it is that I like, and I found stuff that kind of worked for me. There are still a few things that I'm using. I've got a trip coming up the 1st of October, and I'm carrying a couple of things that I've never even used on a hike before, for various reasons. So there's still going to be some new things introduced here and there, but for the most part, the biggest part of my buying sprees and stuff is probably over. That's just the way it is. So I will try to continue to put stuff on my blog, but it just won't be as frequent as they used to be, and it may not be on a whole lot of new gear. Now, saying that, there are a couple of things that are out at the moment that is new that I really wouldn't mind getting. One of those is the new Montbell X-Lite down anorak. And I could kind of justify that, I think, because as I mentioned, I've lost 45 pounds almost, so my body has actually kind of gotten smaller. So what I'm finding out is that a lot of my clothes is not fitting me the same way it used to. Now, the good thing about something like a puffy is that it's good to layer stuff underneath it, so it's okay to be just a little big. However, I went and tried on my X-Lite, which some of you may remember I haven't had very long, maybe a year or so. I went and tried it on yesterday because I'm taking it with me on my hike next month, and it's kind of big and baggy, and I think it'll be okay if I layer something under it, but I'm wondering if it might be too big. So here's something I was thinking. You know, I've got my Montbell Ultralight down inner parka, and I've got my X-Lite. I've actually thought a little bit yesterday about trying to sell both of those pieces and buying the X-Lite down anorak, just because in my opinion it would be the best of both worlds. It would have that hood like the parka does, and it would also have the kangaroo pocket that I could stick my hands all the way through like my parka does. However, it would be lighter than my parka, like the X-Lite is. It would have the cinch around the waist, which is like my parka does, even though I took it out of my parka. Let's see, and then it's only a half zip, so it's kind of cutting out the weight of the rest of the zip, which I don't think you need. I really like the idea of anoraks when I'm backpacking, especially for something that I'm really just going to be wearing around camp. So I'm contemplating that. I'm not completely sure yet. I'm just going to have to see, because that's going to be a lot of effort, I feel like, to sell both pieces and then have to buy that. So I'm going to see, but that is, I've got my eye on that. Another thing that I've kind of got my eye on is the Jetboil Minimo. And to tell you the honest truth, that's not anything that I'm looking to just go and buy. However, some of you may have saw the picture that I posted recently on my blog's Facebook page, and it's the threads from my Jetboil Soul TI, the stove part. Those threads were cut from aluminum. Now, to be completely honest, I got that stove when the Jetboil Soul first came out. I got that stove through backpackgeartest.org as a review stove, so I don't have any money invested in it. However, they sent it to me. I've used it. I used it a lot more for those 6 months that I tested it for Backpack Gear Test than I have since then. However, there have still been occasional trips come up to where I wouldn't mind taking it. To be honest with you, this trip I have coming up, just because I'm going to be doing longer miles every day, and I'm kind of wanting to get started earlier and hopefully hiking later into the evening, I kind of wouldn't mind taking it for the simple fact that it's fast. It does what it does, and it does it fast, and it does it efficiently. However, it's been a couple of weeks now, I took my stove out and I was screwed it onto a canister, and it wasn't quite screwing down like it should. And what happened is the threads, like I said, they're made out of aluminum. Over time, those threads have just kind of slowly disintegrated, I guess. I don't know, they've just kind of mushed and they're gone. I looked at it, and I'll try to post a picture here in the video, but I was looking at the threads and they just look completely flat. Now, the integrity of the spiral, if that's a good way to explain it, but the spiral's still there. You can tell that the spiral's still there, which to me means that I did not cross-thread it or anything like that. It's just that over time, screwing and unscrewing onto the canister, those aluminum threads just wore out. So, I went on the Jetboil website, and they do display a 1-year limited warranty. It's been 3 years since I've had this stove. So for the heck of it, just because it was not user error, I did send them an email and say, hey, look, this is what happened. They told me to send the stove burner in and they would evaluate it. I sent it in, and at first they told me it would be 2 to 5 days before they could look at it and do anything about it. Well, this past Friday was actually 6 days, so I sent them an email and they responded back and said that no, it would take 10 to 15 days. So not really sure what's going on with that, but I'm kind of hoping they just replace the burner. If not, that's going to leave me without the Jetboil Soul. And despite the fact that I'm not a big canister fan, that is going to kind of sadden me a little bit because, like I said, it's a good stove. It does what it needs to do and it does it well. Now the fact that the titanium cup is titanium, and there's been a lot of issues with that, you know, that's one thing. I do find it interesting that I've heard it be reported that the Jetboil has decided that they're not making any more titanium cups, nothing. It's all going to be aluminum. Anyway, saying all that, I'm not sure what the outcome of my Jetboil Soul is going to be. However, I do still have the titanium cup. However, if they don't replace it or don't fix it, I would really like to purchase another one that is another one that I can use and still have my Jetboil. So I was thinking about getting the Soul aluminum. However, now that this Mini-Mo is out, it does look interesting. It's a little heavier. John Abella posted a big long post on BPL just recently. It is a little bit heavier than both, of course, the Soul TI and the Soul aluminum. However, the burner on it's supposed to be a lot more easy to set so that I can actually simmer and stuff, which makes it nice. Plus, I believe it comes with a 1 liter pot, which is actually kind of short and squat rather than tall and narrow. So, if I was to buy that, the Soul aluminum TI pot was still attached to that burner from the Mini-Mo, but I would also have that other option. So that would be nice. So because of that, long story comes around to, because of that, I also have the Mini-Mo on my sights. Or the Soul aluminum, whichever. Other than that, I can't really think of anything new that I've really got my sights on too much, so I don't know. There's that. Okay, so now I do want to talk about a couple other things. I've kind of mentioned them on my blog's Facebook page over the last few weeks, but I just kind of want to show them in video just a little bit, and just kind of talk about some new things that I do have. So, before it starts raining, this was a very impulse buy, and I blame BPL for it. This is the Bear Grylls, I think it's the Ultralight Summit bag or whatever. It was 11 bucks on eBay. And I mean, it's just a simple little bag. It's got super thin. All it is just 2 layers of nylon straps for the straps. It's got one big zipper, and it's got this little pocket over here. It weighs 4 ounces on my scale, and I figured, you know, for 11 bucks, it might not be bad. I don't know what I would use it for exactly yet. I don't think I would carry this backpacking, but I think it's going to have some use somewhere down the line. But anyway, 11 bucks, the Bear Grylls Summit. I think it's the Ultralight Summit bag or something like that. And I've just stuck a piece of blue foam in the back, just kind of give it a little rigidity, so when I put it on my back, it's not quite just all saggy. So anyway, a couple of things in here. First off, I want to start with this. Some of you may remember it's been a while now. I think I've had this over a year. This is the Velbon V-Pod camera tripod, and I've been using it on all of my trips since I got it. I really like it because it's like around 10 ounces with a Cuban fiber sleeve to go around it. I love how easy it is to attach my camera. I don't have to worry about any quick connects, but I just set my camera on there. Super easy. I can just screw this onto it, and it secures my camera real good and tight. It's got a swivel ball head, so I can rotate the camera any way I want to. And then it's got 3 extensions on the legs. I think it's around 42 or 47 inches tall when it's completely raised up. So it gives me a lot of options for only 10 ounces. However, on my last hike, I didn't use trekking poles. That was the first time I didn't use trekking poles. And what I did is I took after something I saw Jake, Barefoot Jake, doing on the hike I did with him in the Olympics. He had his camera just attached to his tripod, and since he wasn't using poles or anything, he just walked around with his tripod in his hand and his camera. That way, if he came across something, all he had to do was just kind of, you know, set out his tripod, and he was ready to take a picture. Plus, he didn't have to worry about digging his camera out of pockets or anything like that. It was always there if he wanted to do it handheld or set it up on tripod. and I thought that was really interesting. So I tried that. However, one thing I noticed was that one of the legs kept sliding down. I wasn't really sure what was up with that. I didn't really think nothing of it. I was just thinking it just wasn't catching the way it should, and I'd figure it out later. So the other day, I pulled this out of my gear closet, and I was going to use it to do a video on my GoRuck stuff that I just posted. And what I realized is that it's not just the fact that this won't stay up in there. What it is there's little balls, and I know you probably can't see it, but as you pull these out, there's little pins that will pop out of each section, and that keeps that section from falling back up into there. Okay? So what's actually happened with this one is that little ball has completely fell out. So there's nothing to stop that. And the problem with that is now, if I try to extend this leg completely out and use it the way it's supposed to, it won't stay up. It wants to fall down. So, another thing that I saw is the way that these are supposed to detach is whenever that ball comes out, there's a little plastic piece. Now, I know you can't see it, but there's just a little plastic piece that kind of catches the ball right there. And then to close it, you would push in on that plastic piece, and it would push that little pin together so that you could push the leg up. And that's how you close it. On another one, that little plastic piece is completely broke off. Now the pin is still in that one, and it will still work, I think. It's not now, so I don't know. Anyway, all that to say, I don't think I'll be carrying this tripod with me anymore on any hikes. That's kind of a bummer, because I really liked it, so I guess I'm going to have to go back to my Joby GorillaPod for now until I can find something else. But that is kind of a bummer. So, the Velpon V-Pod, it's a good thing. I guess you can't get it. Maybe it's a freak accident, I don't know, but maybe it's a good thing you can't get it hardly anymore. Like I said, when I got it, I had to order it from Amazon.uk, which is in England or something like that, and I had to pay over international shipping and all that stuff, so it was kind of a big ordeal for me to get it. I think I paid about 70 bucks, 50 to 70, somewhere in there. I think it was around 70, and it just didn't hold up, so there's that. Another thing I want to talk about, some of you may remember, it's been quite a while back, I had this Eagle Creek bag that I used as my ditty bag. And it was a white bag. It looks just like a bathroom bag that you would use for traveling to hotels or anything. It unzips, and it had two little zip pockets on the side. And it was really nice. However, it was a bit bigger than what I needed, and it was like 1.5 ounces or something like that. And it weighed a little more than I wanted. Yeah, remember, I came from using just a little Cuban fiber stuff sack from Z-Packs that weighed 0.2 ounces, and it did the job fine. So what I've actually done recently, well, not recently, it's been a while. I actually used this on the last hike, maybe the one before that too. But this is the Eagle Creek Packet Spectre Quarter Bag, I believe it's called. It weighs 0.45 ounces, and what's nice is it's just one big pocket that I can open up, and it kind of folds back. So it's kind of like a panel loader. It's big enough to put all of my toiletries, I mean not toiletries, but a lot. This is a ditty bag. It's just a catch-all bag. I've got a lot of stuff in here. And it just works great, and I really like it. I'm going to continue using this, I think, just because it comes in so handy. I can fit everything I need in that one spot, and I can put it in the side of my bag or wherever. If I pull it out, I know what's in it, and I know where it's at, so I really like that. Something else I want to mention, I believe it's Chris from Greenbelly has sent me a couple of these Greenbelly meal bars. And these are supposed to be made out of all 100% natural, I believe, and organic, all that stuff. I can't remember. You have to go on the website to see it as far as, the bars. Let's see. All natural ingredients is the way he describes it. Anyway, I've got a peanut apricot, cranberry almond, and chocolate banana. Really looking forward to these on my hike, to eating these. I've been holding off on eating them here at home just so I'll be able to take them on the hike. These things have 640 calories per package. There's 2 bars in each package. Let's see, they have 18 grams of protein, 100 grams of carbs, and 9 grams of fiber. So, I mean, they seem like pretty good, decent bars as far as the ingredients and the nutritional value seems to go. My biggest thing is going to be taste. I know Brian Green's had some, and he really liked the chocolate banana. But I'm really looking forward to trying all 3 of them, and these are going to be kind of like my lunches on my hike coming up. So definitely ought to stop by Green Belly and check those out. Also, he gave me a discount code, a 15% discount code. I believe it's I Love Hiking. If you'll put that in whenever you're checking out, you'll get 15% off your order. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I'll annotate it to make sure what it is. But anyway, huge thanks to Chris, I believe it is. I hope I'm getting your name right, Chris, for sending these to me and check out. I'm looking forward to it. And if they're good, I'll be ordering some more for sure. Something else I want to talk about, I actually saw these posted from Brian Green, from Brian's backpacking blog. It's been a while back. I've been using them. It's the Toothy tabs from Lush. They have a few different flavors. I've got Dirty, Atomic, and Aquatic. I've tried the Dirty and the Atomics. I actually like the Atomics. Kind of got a coffee aftertaste to it. We went to Nashville weekend before last, or last weekend, and there was actually a Lush store at the Green Hills Mall. So I went in and I picked up some of the Aquatics. I'm going to try those out. But these are really nice alternative to toothpaste. Instead of carrying a big tube of toothpaste, I can carry these. These are just little tabs, little pills. Looks like little Motrin or aspirin sized pills, just little round pills, real small. And they don't hardly weigh anything, but they brush your teeth great. I mean, you just pop one in your mouth, kind of chew it up a little bit, wet your toothbrush, and then brush your teeth like normal. But anyway, I really like these. They don't hardly weigh anything. Of course, everything weighs something. But I think it's a good alternative to toothpaste for those of you that maybe don't want to carry toothpaste. And one more thing I want to talk about, and then I'll quit this. I know this has been a long video so far. I appreciate those still watching. But one thing I just recently got in the mail the other day is the Thermarest Neo Air Mini Pump, made by Camp-Tek. These, I've been wanting one for a while. They've been around for a while. I think John Abelli uses one and really speaks highly of it, as well as a number of other people. Well, I know a number of other people do, because I posted a picture of it on my blog's Facebook page, and there's been quite a few other people that's chimed in and said, "Oh man, I love that thing, it's awesome, it's great, I wouldn't trade it for nothing," and so on. So I'm really looking forward to using this. Really simple to use. It's got a little housing back here that you put 2 AAA batteries. I'm using the lithium Energizer Advanced something, I don't know. It's the lithium batteries made by Energizer. But the way it works is you just kind of push down on the top, and this little cover kind of folds down. Now you got to be careful, because that little cover is actually the on and off switch. Whenever it's raised up, the pump is not working. Whenever it's raised down, the pump comes on automatically. So that's one thing I'm going to have to be careful, because if I break that little thing, it's never going to go off and it's never going to come on, or because the battery will die. So you really have to be careful, because it is plastic. It's not the most robust feeling thing there is. Just so you know, it weighs 2.3 ounces with 2 lithium batteries, AAA batteries. But anyway, you raise that, you lower that down, and then you just kind of reach in there and pull that out, and that little nozzle will simply go around the nozzle on a Neo Air. And it fills it up. For the most part, I've filled up my large X-Lite a couple of times, just playing around with it, seeing how it does. And it fills it up in just under 3 minutes, about 2 minutes and 50 seconds, 2 minutes 45, somewhere around in there. And you just kind of keep an eye on it. You'll see the pad blowing up and kind of shrinking just a little bit as it blows up, like they always do. And it'll get to a point to where you won't see the pad move anymore. When I don't see the pad crinkling around the edges anymore, that's when I know it's done. And I've done it 2 ways from that point. I've left it on, kind of opening up here. I have just left it on and kind of grabbed the nozzle while it was still in here and turned the whole thing so that it closed that little valve while the air was still blowing. And then I've also just kind of pulled it off and puffed one more good breath into it, just to kind of give it that little extra oomph, because I do like more of a firm pad. But anyway, 2.3 ounces, it'll do a great job as far as minimizing. I'm not saying it's going to remove or keep all moisture out of the Neo Airs, but it will minimize as much moisture as can be minimized by using this, because it'll only put in the moisture that's in the air. Now if you do top it off with a breath or so, of course that's going to put a little extra into there, but it will minimize that moisture. Now, I would like to say that according to Thermarest, Neo Air says, or not Neo Air, but according to Thermarest, they say that moisture in the Neo Airs won't hurt the insulation, because the insulation is simply aluminum sheets. It's not foam or anything like that. or down or synthetic insulation like in other pads, that moisture can get in and kind of just over time destroy or break down. It's just metallic aluminized sheets that are inside there. So according to Thermarest, a little moisture shouldn't hurt it, but I kind of wonder how it affects the R value if you have a whole lot of moisture in there. And of course in the winter time, when I would use my Exolite, that's when I'm going to want the most out of my R value because the ground's going to be colder. So in those situations, I think this will really do well. And of course, this can work as a few other things. One thing that you could use it for is if I'm building my little wood stove fire, I can kind of use this and sit next to it, and it'll help blow some air up into there and help get that fire going faster. Another thing that I've read people doing is on hot nights, whenever it's just completely hot and you're laying there, they've taken this little fan and just kind of fanned themselves for a little bit. Kind of gave them a little bit of sanity and just the miserable heat. And then one other thing I just found out with my camera, I brought my camera out here, the humidity is super high. I just kind of turned this on and put it up at the camera, and it kind of helped blow off some of that moisture so that my camera wasn't all hazy looking. That's not anything that would happen often, but you know, there's a lot of uses for it. It could be anyway, potentially. Maybe I'm just trying to justify bringing a luxury item, I don't know. But anyway guys, I know this has been a long video. I hope it's kind of cleared up any questions any of you may have about just my content and why I haven't been posting so much lately. For those of you that still come by, and those of you especially who are still watching, I really appreciate all your support. Enjoy all your comments, your questions you have. I really still enjoy that. Still, I do find that a lot of my time that is free, I'm still answering questions. For some people may have some questions and stuff. And guys, I really enjoy that. I may be a little slow at getting back to some of those questions now, and I apologize for that, but don't take that meaning that I don't enjoy it. I do enjoy it. Now, I will say that just because my time has become more limited, I have kind of become a little more snarky with stupid comments. I'm kind of to the point where I get stupid emails, I get stupid comments on my videos, I get stupid comments on my blog, on Twitter. Not really so much Twitter. I don't honestly pay much attention to Twitter. But I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm just getting tired of reading it. I understand that bad vibes is going to come from, you know, putting my stuff out there on the internet. I'm fine with that. But, you know, if you're going to be a smart ass and post something smart, don't be offended if I post something smart right back at you. Like I said, guys, I appreciate everybody's support. I appreciate you watching, and hopefully I'll be seeing you around some more. See ya.